Welcome to Inside My Kitchen. My name is Taylor Boudreaux. I'm the Executive Chef of the Napa Valley Grille in Westwood, Los Angeles. Today we're going to make crab cakes, so let's get to the kitchen and we'll get started. So let's get started making the crab cake. First thing we want to do is we want to start with one whole egg. We're just going to crack it and put it right into our bowl. A little bit of mayos. It's a quarter cup of mayo for 1 pound of crab meat. And then we're going to whisk this together. Break that yolk. You want to whisk it together until the egg and the mayonnaise are nice and incorporated together, and there shouldn't be any lumps. It should be nice and smooth. So you'll get a nice consistency like that. And we're going to add in our teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. It's a classic for crab cakes. Half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And a tablespoon of Dijon. I'm just going to use my finger. And at this point, you want to take your fresh thyme. You want to end up with about a half a tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves. You can chop it without the stems. We're just going to kind of rip it off and throw it in there. Take out any of the larger stems because those aren't any fun to eat. And then I'm going to add a nice healthy pinch of parsley for flavor and color. So give it a whisk, put it all together. So we've got our base for the crab cake. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pound of crab meat. Now I've gone through this crab meat and I've picked apart all the shells. I've been really careful not to break apart the nice beautiful lump crab meat that you paid. The bigger the lump, the more you pay, so you want to take a lot of care when handling it, all right? So we're just going to put that right into the mix. And then I'm going to use my spoon, and I'm just going to gently toss the crab and cover it completely with our mix. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice and our panko. Now we're going to use a quarter cup of panko. A real crab cake has as little bread as possible. The whole process behind the bread is to keep the crab cakes together and act as a binding agent. So we're going to add those into there. I'm going to incorporate it a little bit more. And the next step is the easiest step in the process. You want to take your mixture and you want to set it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes and let the breadcrumbs soak up all of the moisture from the base and the juice from the crab meat. So we've let the crab mix sit for about 20 minutes, and what's happened is that the panko has soaked up all the moisture and is going to help keep all our beautiful pieces of crab together in the cake. The next part, we're actually going to make the crab cakes. I'm going to teach you how we do it in the restaurant. This is our little friend here. It's a ring mold. This one's about 2 inches. And our crab cakes at the restaurant are 2 ounces. So what we do is we actually, you know, as we put the crab cake into the ring mold, we have it onto a scale, and at 2 ounces, we stop putting crab in. But you can make them by hand. The key part here is that you want to make sure that you squeeze out any of the extra moisture that might be in the mix, and that will also help keep the crab together. So we're just going to stuff crab into the ring mold, and we're actually there's a lot of places will bread the crab cakes and then they'll deep fry it. That's not how we do it here. We actually cook them in the oven, and it's super simple. We take a little sizzle dish. You can use a pie tin that's clean. You want to make sure it has a nice clean surface, not a lot of scorching, because that'll cause things to stick to it. And then you're going to take just a little bit of foil spray, non-stick spray, and coat that, and then make sure you get all the moisture out, and then just release the ring mold, put it onto your sizzle dish. We're going to do 2 crab cakes on our plates. And just be real careful you keep that crab meat together. That's the most important part to this. You know, you want people when they eat the crab cakes to go, oh my God, there's crab in here. And that's a sign that you've taken a lot of care in making them. Put that on there. And what we do is we just take them and we throw them right into the back of the pizza oven so that it's the hottest point in the oven. If you were going to do this at home, I would use a 500-degree oven, no fan, and just let them sit back there and cook. And it takes about 8 minutes. You don't need to flip them, and I will show you why in 8 minutes when they're ready to go. So it's been about 8 minutes, and the crab cakes are done. You'll know the crab cakes are done when they start to kind of brown around the top of the edges. So we're going to pull them out of the oven. And so you've got, some nice caramelization on the crab cake. You got some nice bubbling on the top. So these are actually perfect. So we're going to set these here. We're going to get our plate together. We serve the crab cakes with a remoulade sauce. So it's basically a tartar sauce with a little bit of cayenne, give it some spice, some chopped capers, and we use dill pickle instead of sweet relish. That's the big difference for us. So I'm going to take the remoulade, just put it right in the middle of the plate. We garnish the plate with some fresh orange segments. You don't have to, I just like it because it adds some color to the plate. And now we're going to take the crab cakes off. We use a fish spatula. It's designed for handling pieces of fish and crab cakes, things that are very delicate and tend to fall apart. It's got a sharp side to it. It's a little bit nicer than your run-of-the-mill spatula. So we're just going to take the fish spatula and we're going to flip these over. And there's your perfect presentation side. This is why you don't really have to flip the crab cakes when they're up on the oven, because that bottom side sitting on this little sizzle dish or on your pie tin in your oven, it's going to caramelize the tops of these perfectly so that you have the most beautiful presentation side on the bottom and ready to go for it. Then we're going to garnish with a little bit of microgreens. I'm actually starting to see these sold in grocery stores now, so they're usually in the produce section. I love lemons, one of my favorite flavors, so we're just going to add a little bit of lemon juice to the microgreens, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of olive oil just to give it some sheen. Toss it, being very delicate with these. And we're going to put them right on top. Clean up our plate a little bit. And there are your perfect Maryland-style crab cakes. Thanks for watching this episode of Inside My Kitchen. My name is Taylor Boudreaux, the Executive Chef at the Napa Valley Grille in Westwood, Los Angeles. I hope you guys really understand how easy it is to make great crab cakes, and we hope to see you here soon.